Hey everybody, Kevin here, and I got a little something for your performance edge as we continue through separation season. This is a twofer episode, so we're going to tie it all together here. We had Thanksgiving last week, so we kind of did a little veer off on that one just because it was just a good forced reset. And so now we're going to shift into the whole idea of boundaries that build separation. And we talked through a number of other items along the way, right? We talked about the whole idea of the power of the pause. We talked about separation audits, identity drift versus identity design. And now we get into this part of boundaries that build separation. And so the key is just protecting space for change. We often just cram so much into our lives to really kind of manufacture the level of energy that's required to really set aside the kind of attention you need to give for the changes you want to make. You need space. And so really that attention management component of it really does require us to kind of have a few boundaries. Saying no to something to say yes to something else. Because every yes you say yes to is a no to something, right? So let's look back at this idea of, hey, if we're in separation season, we have our identity design laid out. We know kind of what the two areas are that we're attacking in the separation season, what we're moving from to what we're moving towards. And now we say, hey, how do we carve out the time for that? And it might be just now a kind of a little bit of I'm going to call it a strategic fast of a sort. Maybe that fast, that break you're going to take might be from social media. It might be from TV for a while. It might be just where you can collect your brain energy and your focus on just what are the things that you're going to do in the next month to 2 months together here in the separation season, the moves that you're really going to make. And so it's just key to have two good boundaries. What are those for you? A good boundary might be, hey, I'm going to get up earlier in the morning and process things maybe more in a quiet space. That could be a boundary of like where you just kind of put something in place to give you that time. There might be like we talked earlier, something where you kind of say, hey, look, I'm going to separate myself a little bit from some of the distractions in my life. My doom scrolling might be a good habit to break. I think we all kind of struggle with that a little bit. It could be, hey, I'm going to take a little more time before I go to bed. So I'm going to go to bed earlier and I'm just going to take that little extra time to just kind of really process. But I want to have boundaries where I put some things in place of time or energy or environment or whatever that is that I can have space to think about the changes that I'm making some thoughts and putting some thoughts to that, because now we get into the second part, the twofer, which is the discipline of becoming. And here's the thing, the becoming is more about a progress through practice. And it's something that we have to begin to start build the practices in on. And for instance, I'll give you an example. So, hey, I want to make a shift from who I was, maybe a person that didn't express gratitude, and I always regret that, to someone I want to express a higher level of gratitude to the people I love and care about the most. I'm going to go to bed an hour earlier, but I'm going to use that time to send some personal texts to people in the evening to really articulate my appreciation for them in my lives. But I'm not going to do it just one time. I'm going to do a consistent level of just, hey, how's it going? And it's kind of interesting because we start thinking about like, well, that wouldn't, I would be like bugging people every night. No, it can be a lot of you. It's kind of funny. You have a lot of people in your life, by the way, that you could just shoot a text out to. Someone I haven't talked to them in years. It's all there. It's all there for you. And so you can just say that whole time, by the time I go through my whole list of people that I'm going to, hit up and just kind of say, hey, I'm thankful for you in my life. Could take a whole month just to run all that through, doing it 2 or 3 nights a week. However you structure it. But again, creating the boundary for the separation, getting into the actual moves, the disciplines, the practices of doing that, then start moving you forward. And it is that simple daily ritual that really begins to align with what your next level self looks like. And it does come down to that. There is a 30-day commitment on these little micro habits that you want to do right now here in December. This is the time when it all gets weird, right? There's, like it's 22 days till Christmas, right? And it's like, it is about slowing that down a little bit, creating those boundaries and maintaining your capacity in the process of these changes. And this is probably the most distracted period of time that provides us the gift of the most level of like patience and perseverance and it just like, and peace. How's that? Peace. I got 3 P's there for you. So it just, all those things just are there ready for you if you put the boundaries in place and then you start looking at the practices that you want to hit on. And lastly, this is not about perfection, right? This is about trying and getting dirty early. This is the best time. You say, Kevin, this is the worst time. No, it's not. It's the best. Because if you can begin the process of doing that in this most constrained period of time at the end of the year, you're going to be great in January. And January that's when moving season is. That's when we really start cranking that up. Now it's proof of concept. Now we get into the idea of, can I do this? And will I do this? And where can I start in the smallest way possible? Putting boundaries in place, putting practices in there and getting after it. So, hey, this is the work part now. We've done a lot of thinking up to this stage. Time to get after it. So, hey, shoot me a text or shoot me an email. Let me know how you're doing with this. Shoot me questions if you have questions. I'd love to just fire stuff back at you. Let me know. This is really long video today. If you're still here, woo, thank you. And look, this is for you. Do some damage out there. And always remember, when you see the invisible, you become unstoppable. Take care, everybody.